look around you. Where you are right now, as you're watching this, look around your house. There are tools you have you're not using that can actually fetch you a whole lot of funds.
Forget about what people are saying. Don't listen to what people are saying. What people say about you or think about you is none of your business.
Many entrepreneurs want to build a business at the same time feed from the business. It cannot work. In Lagos,
but you just get to do something. Stop waiting for manna to fall from heaven.
Never you at any point think you have 100% strength. It's not possible. So as a leader, you focus on your strength 100%, then your weakness, you get someone to fill it in. Now, the person you are bringing in, ensure that the person's weakness is your strength.
You have to come with something to the table. So what are you coming with as a woman? What are you bringing? Is it your intellect? Is it your beauty? We all know that beauty doesn't help anybody. If not, I'll be where Dangote is today.
Please, if you are listening to me, don't try and sell what is not sellable if you don't have the funds to push it.
Thank you for connecting with Simeon Ononobi today. Live sessions hold every Tuesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Please turn on post notifications for live updates.
Hey, welcome to Connect with Simeon. I am excited for today's program. Thank you for connecting. I don't know if I have a bad haircut, but it's still lockdown mode. It's still work from home mode, and we're killing it. So today I have with me a great guy who is going to be sharing his journey. I knew him when we first met, and it was like, he had issues. Like, this guy had a lot of issues. But today I'm so excited because he's turning over about $5 million annually. He has clients from around the world. He has big clients like the British Embassy as a customer. He has a lot of people that pay him daily today. And his journey has been one of inspiration to me. It's been one of great respect. I'm going to remind you again why I'm doing this program. So my name is Simeon Ononobi. I'm the CEO at Connected Analytics. You also know us as Thank You Cash. You can check up our website, and I even have a story on connectedanalytics.xyz, or you can check thankyoucash.com for our product. Like I said on connectedanalytics.xyz, I just wish that we could change our world, we could change this country, we could change Africa for the better. We could celebrate people, get brands to look at what we are doing as a country. We can shape economies, we can shape things together. We could create a new economy for Africa. We could create a new economy for Nigeria. We don't have to keep complaining all the time about what is happening or what's going wrong. And that's why I decided to share this, bring up wonderful people that are doing amazing stuff. You guys have seen you've seen a lot of people come on the show. Daniel was one of my first guests. You've seen Okpe from Genesis Cinemas. You've seen a lot of people come from different places to share ideas, to share what they've done, their journeys, and all that stuff. And today, I have seen a lot of feedback. A lot of people have gotten jobs. A lot of people have gotten mentorship. A lot of people have gotten even investors that are looking at people to invest in. So I don't have a favorite, but I've had programs. So you could hurry up to our YouTube page and see all the interviews that we've had, all the chats, all the stuff. And if you want to connect with any of them, please send me an email at connectwithsimeon@gmail.com, and I'll reach you. my network is there. You could always tap into my network and reach all these guys and get motivation from them, get jobs from them and stuff like that. So today with me in the studio is Doyin Adewola. Doyin Adewola is a great friend of mine. He's been awesome. His story, like I said, is one of great. If you enjoyed Bright Jaja last week, you're definitely going to enjoy Doyin today. Doyin is doing amazing work at Box Office Hub. I'm going to be showing you a bit about what he's doing, but at first, like the show, we always talk about our past, and we are true to it. It's not we don't play jokes or play gimmicks. We don't bull anybody. We tell you as it is. We tell you about our journeys, when we failed, where we succeeded, how we've done it, how we've, like Bright said last week, he slept on the floor. Even I never knew he was sleeping on the floor, but he was sent home by he was sent out by his parents. He was disowned, but today he's doing very well. So today I have another guest in the house, Doyin. Welcome to my studio.
Yeah, thank you, Simeon. I mean, so good to be here. Thanks. I mean, I was just thinking it sounded like somebody else's profile you were reading the last time. It didn't sound like mine.
Oh no, but you're doing amazing work. You're doing amazing work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So Doyin, please, can you like share a bit of your past? Like, how did this all start? Like, how did you become, the CEO, the co-founder at boxoffice.ng? Where did it start from?
Right. So once again, thank you and hello to everyone joining us today. Simeon, you're doing an amazing job. I think one of the best things we can do as entrepreneurs is to keep learning, and for you to be creating this kind of content is really great for the community. So a big thank you to you, Simeon. When I think about the story of my life, like I'm still young, so it's not like I'm 70 or 60 years old, but I kind of connect with what you've also been through. I see a lot of similarities in the past, in the history of my business and yours as well, because it was more of stumbling on something I wasn't prepared for. At that point, I needed to find myself. I just finished my NYSC. The expectation was I would work in a ministry. My dad was a civil servant. He worked in the Ministry of Works and Housing, so he did everything he could to get me a job in the ministry. But there was this inner yearning, a passion within me to say that, okay, you are not the ideal civil engineer, because I studied civil engineering in school at the university, and I knew I was never going to practice. So even right while I was in university, I started business. I was selling everything I could sell. So initially, I started to do basic web design, not the kind of web development you guys do. I wasn't writing codes. I wasn't programming. It was just like the front page thing, Dreamweaver stuff, designing logos, customizing products, people doing weddings. I would print flyers and all of that. That was my gig at that level. 2010, 2011, 2012. And it got to a point where I could only get gigs of 20,000 naira or 40,000 naira. Whenever I got to 500K, a million naira, whenever I got to the serious jobs, the first question people would ask me is, Doyin, where is your office? Can I meet you at somewhere? And I would say, okay, let's meet in Mr. Biggs, let's meet in, you understand, neutral areas. And I just noticed that that question occurred time and time over again. So I knew it was a problem. My solution to the problem was to beg a friend of mine to share his office and also contribute his rent. It wasn't anything formal. I just wanted to. Can you hear me, Simeon?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, it wasn't anything formal. I just wanted to share my friend's office with him and contribute some amount to his rent. But at that point, I realized that there were a lot of people in my shoes who just needed a small space in the corner of somewhere, a decent space. And if you know Abuja very well, I live in the Federal Capital Territory. I've lived here for 20 years now. And rent is really, really expensive. At some point, you would be compelled to pay for 2 years at once. Where would someone who earns 20,000 naira for gigs get that kind of money? And so I realized it was a big problem in the environment, and I gave it a shot to look for properties around. At that point, I didn't know that it was about co-working. for me or to me, it was just about solving the problem in my environment. I found a space in Wuse 2. I met the landlord. The man saw me and he zoomed off because in his mind, who is this boy that wants to rent a 30 million naira space per annum? And so I had to call my dad to come talk to him and my mom. And that was when he listened. And since then, it's been, I mean, a level after another. And, you know, the way I started business, like I said, it's more of stumbling on something. I didn't do all the planning or the strategy, the industry analysis, competitive analysis, and all of that. I didn't know jack about anything. It was just my passion. I love interior decoration. I love designing. I love planning. I love to arrange things. Childhood memories. I remember that I love to wash plates. I mean, I would set up my room like a hotel. You know the way the beds are laid in hotels. I mean, put double layer bed sheets, set the pillows. That's the kind of thing I like to do when I was younger. And I think I just transferred my skills to what I stumbled on, which was co-working. Because for those who know what co-working is, it just means creating an environment for people to succeed in terms of the physical services you're providing, somewhere conducive for them to innovate and collaborate, and also with the soft skills you're providing for them, ability to network and collaborate, plan together and strategize and build your businesses and grow and all of that. Pretty much that was what I was doing. And I transferred all those natural skills. Before then, I had never worked anywhere. So it was really like my first work, starting my business. And it's been learning on the job. I would say I made a lot of mistakes because there was nobody to learn from. At that point, no one knew what co-working was in Nigeria. I was about the first. So there was a lot of buzz, like there's one doing something somewhere. And I didn't know. I mean, it was my friends that told me, doing what you're doing is co-working, it's business incubation. And so it was at that point that I started to align my business to industry best practices. And it's been 7 years plus now. It's been a great journey. It's not the kind of business that raises funds to grow. It's been very organic. It's been bootstrapped. I mean, for 7 years, it's the toughest job anyone could have in this.
Let's calm down. Let's calm down. I pride this program on realities, on being super real. Like no gimmicks, no, no how do I put it, hidden things around. Just being real. So let's take it back. Let's take it back a notch. So the whole story is Doyin was earning like 20K per gig, was doing designs, was doing stuff, and people wanted to know his office. Like, hey, let's meet at your office, let's give you something bigger. And he didn't have any space to show. So, and he thought, wait, why not just share an office with someone, or stay in the corner of someone's office and all that. And that led you to thinking, wait, what about if I made this a business? What about if I could, create an atmosphere where people, but you didn't have a penny in your pocket. What were you thinking? What went through your mind to walk into a 30 million a year apartment and say, hey, I want to rent this? And how did you rent it? Like, be real to us. Tell us, matter. How did you pay 30 million to rent a house? Like, how did you do it?
So till date, I have never paid 30 million per annum for this property. So it's a big facility. It's actually the biggest space, co-working space in Abuja, and I haven't been to any co-working space in Nigeria that is as big as what we have. So it's your standard living room is about 20 square meters, 30 square meters. So imagine having 30, 40 times your living room. You understand? So it's quite a massive space. So I couldn't have rented that from the onset. What I did was to take a 50 square meters in that space, right? Okay. I did two things. I went to the second floor because it wasn't a prime location. If you know about real estate, you will realize that people who were on the ground floor, had the best access. So they would have a lot of foot traffic. The first floor, two people wouldn't complain. But for the second floor, right, it's not where people want to be because of the stress of climbing the staircase. There are no elevators in Nigeria in most buildings. And so I went to the topmost floor where I knew it would be difficult for someone to come and rent a space there. Right, the competition for the second floor was a lot lower. So I got a 50 square meter space on a 1,000 square meter space. The cost of that space was about 2.5 million naira in 2012. You understand? So it's not about raising 30 million naira. It was taking a small space. And at that point, when I got the space, I went to Facebook and I announced I got the space in September. I had not paid. I went to Facebook and I announced to my friends that I was launching box office in December, 4 months later. And I invited them to the launch party, right? What that did for me was to put me under pressure to deliver my promise to my friend because I didn't want to disappoint anyone. And so it was now working towards the target. I talked to my dad, I talked to my mom, I talked to my siblings. Everyone raised the funds. It was about 2.5 million naira that I raised in 2012. And I didn't pay the landlord the 2.5 million naira for the rent. I paid him 1.5 million naira out of the 2.5. The remaining I used to build a cubicle, the replica, the model box office. Box office just means office in a small box, somewhere very ideal enough for one table, one chair, and 2 visitors. For us, it was just about efficiency. It was about optimizing space. The Nigerian mindset is living a lavish life. You understand? You see someone having an office space that is as big as a football field, and you really ask yourself, is this guy productive with this space? You understand? We live a very wasteful life. So for me, it was about being efficient, about being also optimizing resources. So every other thing you need to be productive in your business, you would have to share. You have to share the meeting room, the conference room, the reception. We had one generator, we had one internet service provider, we had just 2-3 cleaners. So it made the cost affordable to entrepreneurs. And so my point is, I didn't raise as much when I started. I started really, really small. And I still have pictures till today. I started with one box and it took me 3 months to sell one space. You understand? It took me 3 months. 3 months. I mean, and we would dress up in our suits with my friends that we started together. We come to the space. Everywhere was a bare floor. Remember, I said it was 1,000 square meters, like a football field. And I just had one little box in that space. And people would come and ask me, Doyin, you've said you want to give us power, you want to give us internet, you want to give us correspondence service. Where is the power? Where is the AC? I didn't even have anything. All I promised were on flyers. You understand? And I said, give me your money, I will buy the AC. Give me your money, I will employ the cleaner. Give me your money. You understand? So it was it was like bootstrapping, like at its best. I didn't have beyond the initial funds that I raised from family and friends.
Cool.
And pretty much that was how we started. And to be sincere with you, most of what box office has earned today has been organic. All the infrastructure was built, all the spaces we built. We've expanded to about 3 locations in Nigeria, or 4 locations in Nigeria. It's been funds generated within the business. Yes, we've got funds externally, but basically it's just been for cash flow, backup from banks here and there. But it's been an organic growth so far. And I hope I've answered the question, Simeon.
Cool. So I know there was a point where you were, because I mean I know the story, and I was part of it because I was there in Abuja, and I know there was a time you thought about shutting down, and your staff did some miracle stuff. So just like, can you like tell us more about that? What happened? You were giving up. You were tired. I need to shut down.
Simeon, I have shut down box office many times. The luck that I have, or the favor that I have, is that the business didn't give up on me. You understand? So, and I think it's also because of the unique model of the business. You understand? It's not a business that is easy to shut down. You understand? Because I have about 100 customers with different contracts running. So it's not like I'm selling spare parts and I can just pack my things and lock my shop and get out. No, I have to think about every business that I'm supporting. So that has really been why it's difficult for me to fail. But going back to your story, in 2013, I mean, we didn't have money. A lot of times, we couldn't even employ cleaners to clean the space. So we would come on a Sunday after church, change into our boxers, and we'll begin to clean the space. And on Monday morning, we'll come back wearing suits and looking like CEOs. You understand? And nobody knew. Nothing said it on our faces that we were cleaning the space the day before. And so our best meal at that point was Coke and Gala. You understand? I mean, every break, we would all gather around the shop and we'd take Coke and Gala. I mean, Coke and Gala was the best thing that could happen to us at that point for lunch. So sorry that I'm advertising Coke and Gala.
No, go ahead. So
money finished. There wasn't anything, but I remember that there was this day I stayed back at work till like 6 or 7 p.m. And the reason why I stayed back was because I didn't have money to go back home, right? There was no money for transportation. So I was going to trek a long distance, then take a bus, then trek the remaining till I got home. And so I was waiting for the time to get a bit dark so that nobody would see a CEO in a suit trekking. And everybody had gone. That was the only reason why I was still at work that day. And guess what? About 6:30 p.m., a woman walked in, and she became our first client in Box Office Hub. So, and this is 3 months after we launched. No single sales, and we kept coming every day. And at this point, we had not paid salaries for like 3 months because the people I started with, my friends, they believed in me, they believed in the vision and all of that. And so after 3 months, we got some funds from the woman. And so we paid the salary in areas, right? Then 2 months afterwards, we got into trouble again. Of course, for a business to survive, you need the inflow day in, day out. So getting money that day meant that we also couldn't sustain it. So we went into trouble again. And Femi, who was one of the people that was with me then, told me that, Doyin, when you paid me the last time, I didn't spend my money. I saved it. It went to the bank and gave it back to me so that we could continue operations. And so, I mean, yes.
In Nigeria.
So, in Nigeria, right, Nigeria. And this is not like I forced him. I didn't ask. I didn't even know he had money. You understand? We were just suffering, and he said, "Okay, Doyin, take this money back." And so those were the kind of stories that kept me going to say, Doyin, whatever it takes, this business must survive. And not just survive, it must be big enough to be a household name in Nigeria. We are not there yet, and also a global business, right? We're not there yet. We're still coming.
I mean, let me like put this in a nutshell. Doyin had a problem. Doyin was earning 20K. I need to sound out. Doyin was earning 20K doing design. Was doing logos and stuff. And customers were like, "Oh, you know what? Let me come to your office." And he didn't have one, so he looked for a space, a friend that could share office with. And the idea just came. Wait, what about if I could get one of these empty houses and set it up as an office? All of us could share, and we could pay our rent. And that's how Box Office started. Now he started Box Office without money. He saw this lovely space and was speaking in tongues, in quotes, hoping that one day he would pay. And he took a small portion of that space, didn't have money to pay, went around begging friends and family. So no matter where you are, you might need help. And once you need help, cry out. Let people know that you need help. Kill the pride and just cry out. Now he cried out to his family, friends. They came up with 2.5 million for rent. He didn't pay the tenant, the landlord, the 2.5 million. He paid 1.5 million, kept 1 million to at least furnish the place into what it was then. First 3 months, no customers. He went and announcing to friends, you cannot have an office space to share, but nobody shows up. And 3 months down the line, he was about to give up, gets his first customer. Then after that happened, 2 months later, no more customers. He still had troubles. He wanted to shut down. He didn't have any money to go home. His staff that he had paid from the previous month comes back and says, "Boss, this is the money you paid me last month. Let's use it to sustain the business and let's keep going." And that's how Box Office kicked off. Like, it's a story that is real. It cannot tell more about the grit and the personality Doyin has built. And Doyin, that's fabulous. I mean, I know today you have companies like the British High Commission.
The British Council, they were here before, but they're no longer here. They have their building now. But we have Budget. Budget is one of our biggest clients. I'm sure people know Budget already. There is also Nige.com. They used to be Nige, but they're now Legit.com. You know Legit?
Yeah.
And we have a couple of other great businesses like that in our space. Right.
Wow. So Doyin, you do about $5 million annually. Like, bro.
So that's cumulative of the ecosystem.
Bro, what you gonna say me? That's what like how do you contribute to that massive amount of funds and in that ecosystem, space. Like Doyin, you're doing
Right.
great. Like guys, if you have any questions for Doyin, please, send your messages, send your comments down the post, and he will answer. This guy started from a room, took up an empty space, and became what it is today. He didn't even know what it was. He didn't even know it was called co-working or hub or whatever. It was something he learned after. So you don't even have to have a plan. Just see a problem and try to solve the problem. And these are young Nigerians that are doing it. I agree, and I will always keep maintaining it. It is difficult. It is stressful. It's already stressful in countries that have too much. We don't even have enough. So it is already super stressful. To build a company here or to even work as a staff here is stressful. So you have to be top percentile to be able to and that's grit, that is focus, that is energy. So please stay tuned and make sure that you send your questions. And we'll be back in just a jiffy. Doyin, please don't go anywhere.
All right.
You're watching Connect with Simeon Ononobi. Stay tuned.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome back. So thanks, guys, for joining. I'm still with Doyin Adewola. We're still discussing his journey from zero to something. It's like from zero to success. He had nothing. He was earning 20K a month, and today he's paying staffs across his industry. And his real story is here, is life. Like he's taking us, directly. The Nigerian spirit. The Nigerian spirit is not that spirit of timidity or fear and all that. No, that Nigerian story is being strong enough to take it to the next level. It's being strong enough to run things well. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. But people like Doyin, people like Bright, people like Daniel, they're doing great things. Doyin, please tell us. Someone's already asking the question. And guys, intermittently taking questions. So it says, okay, cool. So Stephen Wadike asks, please, what's your marketing strategy? Since your business is B2B, can you share your sales model or steps of how you activate your clients and get them to paying you?
All right. Good question. Marketing, at some point, we did a lot of things, right? Because you want to throw your net into different places and hope that you catch something. But we realized that it was just one thing that was working, and that was referrals, right? My business is not like a 5,000 naira business where someone just buys suya for 5K or 200 naira buy recharge card. I mean, my clients pay me millions of naira. So it's not the kind of business that you will see on Twitter and you go and withdraw your 5 million naira and come and pay. You need recommendation from someone who has said, I have been in this space for the last 2 years and it's a great space. Because what we promise you is like doing what Nigerian government should be doing. We tell you, we guarantee you power for 1 year straight. We guarantee you solid internet. We guarantee you an environment. People walk into our space and they say, this place looks like Germany, looks like London, looks like America. So the promise is not something that we can play with. And so it's not the kind of business you would print flyers and be sharing around or just do SMS or. So it's built on trust, it's built on referrals, it's built on personal testimonials. And when we realize that, we further focus on our clients, all the customers, giving them the best of services. Secondly, we studied our data to see that most of our clients were not based in Abuja. And it's obvious, Abuja is not a market-driven environment, right? 70% of our revenue every year came from Lagos. And so even it makes more sense to go and sit down at the airport and talk to everybody coming in from Lagos about your business. You understand? So I think answering your question would be first understanding the model you run and also understanding where the customers are coming from, right? And we did that well, pretty much.
Beautiful. I mean, I take two things away from that, and that's what my business is built on: data. Make sure you listen to the data. As a business, yes, your customer is king. It's not about the accounting software you have. It's not about the operational software you have. It's not about the things that you're doing. No, make sure that you have two key things. One, your customers are king. Your customers know that you prepare your space enough for them to come back. Number two, listen to the data. Don't throw your money everywhere. Don't go to Facebook, you do adverts. Go to Twitter, you do adverts. Go to Instagram, you do adverts. Don't do that. Listen to your data. Like Doyin said, his customers were coming from Lagos, and it was obvious. Okay, Lagos means people that are coming to Abuja, they don't have office, they don't have the time to go and start looking for office, they don't have this, so they can actually take a small space here, take a small box office here, or more cubicle here. So what do? I don't go to Instagram or Facebook. I go and sit at the airport and make sure that businesses know, as the executives that come down from the plane, they know that there's a space they can use for office for 1 week, for 1 month, for 1 year. They can use space in the office. They can even take an office address, and they can always get their mails there. So listen to the data. Don't just throw everything out there. Listen to the data. I mean, that's what I work on. I tell business every day, listen to your data. What's your data telling you? What's those 3 customers that walked in? What are they telling you? Do you need more juice? Do you need more pepper? Do you need more crayfish? Add it to that product you're doing. Thank you very much for that, Stephen. I hope your question has been answered. And just to take note, B2B means business to business. B2C means business to customer. So products that sell directly to customers are called B2C, while products that sell to businesses are called B2B. Some products are B2B2C, which is you sell to business, and that business sells to a customer. So it's B2B2C. Thank you, Doyin, for that. If you have more questions, please shoot at Doyin, and we will get to say it. One key thing, Doyin, you spoke about is your staff. You got great guys that saw the vision. How were you able to sell the vision to them? How were you able to show them that, guys, we are in this together. We can grow together? Because a lot of things I've noticed over time is that people take up jobs, and when you offer them even shares in the company, they say, what is shares? They don't even understand that. So it's difficult to give staff shares. It's difficult to show them the dream and all that. And a lot of people have actually told me this, that it's very difficult to sell a dream to staff. How would you say these things work for you?
Right. I agree with you that in a place like Nigeria, that also has a lot of structural challenges. It's difficult to find talent. I feel that what you see within smaller businesses is a reflection of what's happening in the external environment. Because people have not been trained to be committed, to be loyal, to stay with things and succeed, to solve problems, even when you don't know what to do. The ability to stay on it until you find the problem. So we're not saying you should know everything, but do you have that spirit to crack things up until you solve it? So there is a general talent problem. However, I have seen that the people who have been very, very consistent with my business and very committed are people who didn't know me just now. People who have had a history with. Because you can't really remove the personal character of a person, or a character of a person, from that of the business. It's like you would see that every founder portrays himself in the business. You could easily see the kind of business someone is running by just looking at the founder. So when I started, the people that followed me at that point, I would call them disciples, followers, were my friends, right? They knew that I had a passion about the business. It wasn't about money. It was a true story. And everybody likes to be a part of something big. And that also takes me to the point of communication is one of the very important tasks every executive should be making. You must be able to sell your story to whoever. You see, customers are not the only people you sell your stories to. You sell your stories to your staff as well. You must be able to convince them. From time to time, I come up with ideas in Box Office Hub. And my number one priority when I come up with ideas or innovations is to make my staff imbibe, to make them see the vision, right? It is until they see a vision that it becomes a shared vision. That's the concept of shared vision. It is that many people are taking a bit and piece of your vision. It's not easy. It takes time, right? It takes time. But I would say that when you find great people, don't let them go easily, right?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. When you find great people, don't let them go. I have some great guys that work with me, and guy, they ain't going anywhere anytime soon. So having said that, what's the future like for box office? What now that so you started from nothing, you have something to do. What is that future like now for you?
Thank you, Simeon. A very critical part of our journey was understanding the right model to operate in, right? Because co-working is a very tough market because of the costs of sales. You need a big bank, a deep pocket to run an effective co-working space. Either that you have your building or you have partners that owns real estate that can partner with you. And we don't really have all of that. So COVID has helped us a lot. But before COVID came, we knew that the future was not in a brick and mortar business because we saw the patterns, right? We had clients, we had revenue, but it wasn't consistent. I mean, we were not having repeat customers. And it had nothing to do with our business. It just had a lot to do with the economy. Once a business comes in and the economy is bad, it is difficult for them to generate money, right? And we also cannot give free space. And so there was people coming in and going out. And we told ourselves that the future of this business has to leverage on technology. I mean, workspace should be the least of the service offering. And so answering your question is, is that we found a way to remodel the business. We found a way to evolve to more like a tech company now, which is what you see portrayed on our website, which is a marketplace that hinges on a community of workers, of people working in the space, either people working in the space or people outside the space, a marketplace that hinges on people needing to learn new skills, a marketplace that is hinged on people needing finance, and a marketplace hinged on people that need to collaborate and work together. So more or less, Box Office Hub has become a marketplace because when you think about co-working, what you are doing is enabling people to become productive, and that's what a marketplace is. And so we've just taken our physical co-working space and we've put it on the platform. And guess what has happened when we did that? In the last 7 years, we've had about 500 paying customers. And since 30 days ago, when we changed the model to becoming a marketplace, that people on that marketplace can have workspace to book, they can have a space to learn, they can have a bank to borrow money, and they can have a place to network. We've had 500 users in 30 days.
Wow.
You understand? So 7 years work, 500 customers, 30 days work, 500 users without any form of marketing. Very organic. And we haven't even launched, right? So answering your question to say is that every business needs to embrace digital transformation, and that's what we've done. And so for the future, it is to drive our strategy of a marketplace for service providers, for professionals, for freelancers, right? And leveraging on these things I've talked about.
That's really, really awesome. That's really, really, really awesome. Guys, please drop your messages, drop your posts, drop your questions, and we will take them. If you have any questions for Doyin, please, if you're in Abuja, there might be a deal for you at Box Office. We will be discussing with Doyin to give you a 1 month 50%. I know I never discussed it, so I'm putting him on the stand, giving 50% off to at least 2 people that need a box space, that need an office space in Abuja. 2 people. Right. First one, 50% off at Box Office. So if you have need for an office space, shoot me an email right now. It's connectwithsimeon@gmail.com. And first 2 people, tell me why you need an office space in Abuja, and I'll get Doyin to give you 50% off an office space for the first 1 month. So if you have any questions, please send in that question, and we'll take that question. Like I said, this is a program where we tell it as it is. We show great minds. We celebrate people that are doing it. Yes, like I always say, it is hard. It's going to keep being hard in Nigeria. We don't have the kind of resources that we need, but people are making it. People are doing it. People are struggling. People are being successful. Like we saw last week, Bright Jaja never went to school, never did anything, and dropped out of school, but he's killing it right now. Doyin Adewola, civil engineer, but he's still killing it. He didn't get a job as a civil servant. He's still killing it. So we can kill it. We can make it work. And that's my passion. That's my vision. My vision is to get so many people connected that we would be so great as a company, as a country, that the human capital that we have would make Nigeria a better place. So if you have any questions, please drop your questions. If you have any comments, I would love to see your comments as we go on with the show. So final question from me, Doyin. If you were to go back, 7 years, and you were to do this again, what would you change?
Right. Great. I think that's a very difficult question because no one has that advantage of going back to the past, because we can only see the past by looking back. You understand? You can't plan for your past. You have to first live, then look back. So you can't plan for a mistake that you want to make in the future. That's my point. And I think that if I had the privilege to go back, if that was possible, it would be to really fine-tune my model before launching my business. Right. My struggles in box office hub has been because I didn't plan for it. Yes, it has worked, but I think some other people might not have been very privileged or fortunate for that kind of mistake. So, like I told you, I understood the model along the way. And so imagine if it was a model I understood, I didn't even know it was a co-working space. And what it did for me is that I didn't know how to create my product well. I didn't know how to distribute them, and I didn't know how to get money out of it. You understand? It's all about a business model, right? So most of the things we're doing now in the 7th, 8th year, we could have done them easily in the first year, because it doesn't take anything to embed technology into what you're doing. A marketplace would have been very successful at the initial stage, because our clients need more businesses. They need to sell, and they also need to buy from other people. So why couldn't we have connected a technology to make people buy and sell services from the onset? What that would have done is that when people leave our physical space, they remain on the digital space. So imagine about 1,000, 2,000 businesses that have passed through box office hubs in 7 years and still retaining them on the platform, retaining their data. Yes, they're not in the physical space, but they're still running business. They're still in your community, pretty much.
Cool.
And I also think that we didn't get partnerships right. I remember sometime last year or 2 years, I had a big problem with one of my landlords, and his own way of solving the problem was to get police to pick me up. You understand? So over 2 years, I ought to have paid him about 24 million naira. And as at this date, I had paid 21 million naira. And so I had 3 million naira left, right? And so he reported to the police, they got me. And when I saw all of that happen after 2 years, I remember that the signs were there from the beginning, but I didn't pay attention to it. Anything that can go bad, you will see the signs from the beginning. So I think that we shouldn't wait too long to be sensitive to issues when they come up. We don't have to partner with everybody, right? Values must align. The values of your partner must align with yours. I mean, there were a lot of things. For instance, it wasn't comfortable that a woman was my manager at the box office hub. I mean, that was a flag for me. Why shouldn't it be comfortable? My best staff in the past 7 years are women. My most loyal staff in the past 7 years are women. You understand? Because women have a way of bringing their nurturing skills to the business. You understand? And if you check many professions, women are dominating these days, because the guys want to be the next Naira Marley. Nothing about Naira Marley. The guys want to be the next Olamide Whiskey. You understand? So they want the quick box, right? They are looking at the wrong signs. But you hardly find women not focusing on a career path. Women are more stable, right? Pretty much.
So listen to the signs. I have had similar issues where people, you don't listen to the signs, and bam, it just sweeps you off the feet. Yes, you struggle, you get strength, you keep going, but listen to the signs. Not everybody's your customer. Not everybody is supposed to be your partner. Some people are just going to, ruin you or get you down. So listen. And one thing I took out of what Doyin said is always ask for help. what might take you 7 years will just take you 1 month if you ask for the right kind of help. Don't stay scared. Don't, shoot an email if the person is tired. Like, I get emails and a lot of people say, please, can you help me with this, or can you help me with that? Or some people book meetings with me on my calendar and I don't show up, and they just stop there. And I'm like, dude, how? If I book a meeting with one of my mentors and it's not there, I will book another one. If it's not there, I will book another one. You just need to get results. Keep booking, keep making the person see you, be visible. Don't get tired. The hustle is real. To get to that top, you need to hustle. And the issue is, like someone would, one wise man always told me, you hustle 6 times more than you should normally hustle in Nigeria. So you hustle 6 times more.
Yeah.
So keep hustling. Don't give up. Don't let it go. Somebody asked a question, which actually goes down to the last answer you gave. Most companies find it difficult to change their businesses. This is Chukwemeka change their business model. How can a company easily transit from physical to digital, just like that?
Right. For me, so digital transformation is also not an easy process. It takes time, right? So it requires you understanding what the solution is exactly, right? So building a box and putting an AC and internet in that box is not entirely the solution. The solution is that someone needs to come into the box and do business and succeed. You understand? It is the productivity. It is that my business is growing. That's the solution. So if I focused on building boxes, buying ACs, buying internet, giving them clean offices, I would have missed the point. And what that told me was that if they could grow their business under a tree, they will pay for my service. You understand? So the first thing you need to do is, what is the value I'm giving to this guy? Forget about how you deliver the value. Ask yourself, what is the value, right? If all you do is drive from point A to deliver more to point B, you could be lost in that driving to think that that is the value. The value is the more you are delivering, and that someone wants protein at a particular time. And so if you set up a system beside that guy that delivers more to him, whether you cooked it or you didn't cook it, that is not important. If you talk to all the more vendors in the city to say, please, 7 a.m., go and deliver more to this my customer there, you have created a value. And what have you done? You've become a digital company, because you've now created a platform where more sellers can deliver to your customers, and you take a commission from that.
Cool. Chukwemeka, I hope that answered your question. It is not that difficult. You have to just listen to what the value is that you are given and figure out a way to make it meet your customers' needs. Thank you very much, Doyin. You've been a blessing to me. You've been a blessing to a lot of people. Guys, we can all make it. I don't care who you are, be it school dropout, be it graduate, first class, last class. I don't care what it is. Be a staff, be a business-minded person, whatever it is, you can make it. You can be the person that changes somebody else's business. You can be that person that somebody goes to. You can be anything. You can be an investor. Just have 50K in your pocket, and bam, you can invest that 50K in the right place, and it works. You can see businesses around you. You can see empty offices, and you get an idea, just like Doyin did. And wait, why is this place? We all can, part pay for this space and become something. And he drove a brand. You can go to boxofficehub.com.ng. That is Doyin's website. Book a space. Do whatever you want to do. He's created a digital value valley there. You can do a lot of things there. So please visit boxofficehub.com.ng. That is Doyin's company. And Doyin is doing a lot of lovely work. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Over the course of this, I'm going to be bringing lovely people like Doyin to come share with us. The idea for me is, if I bring in more people doing it, it shows that we can do it. It's not just about music or about entertainment. It's also some people doing some lovely stuff to change this economy, and you can be one of them. I believe in me. I believe in you. I believe in all of us. Doyin, thanks for coming. Any last words? Any last advice to my people? Anything from you?
So it's the COVID era, right? And I think it's an opportunity for people to catch up. That's where I see COVID. What COVID has done is to try to reset the world, like someone pressing a restart button. And when someone presses the restart button, if you were at the back before, it doesn't matter anymore, right? If you were also in front before, it doesn't matter. It's like we are giving everybody a clean state to start afresh. So it's a great opportunity to take the lead, right? Someone, the force of nature or whatever, has helped us to restart the world, to topple things over. That's the first. The world is also advanced at the same time, so vulnerable, right? We have technology doing amazing things, but hey, we still cannot find a cure to a virus. What that tells you is that there are so much more things that can be discovered and also created in the world today. So don't see yourself as a user or a consumer of innovative stuff. See yourself as being able to create things for the world to use. I think why Nigeria has coped well with COVID is because of our resilience, meaning our ability to bounce back from failure. I think that's just one of the reasons why you are not seeing people fall on the way dead, right? Because our healthcare is not super, our healthcare is not fantastic, but people are able to go about their work in a way that doesn't feel like we are really experiencing the danger of a pandemic. And so I think resilience is something great for entrepreneurs that you can take from the Nigerian spirit into your business. And finally, the business of the future will be those ones who have embraced technology to drive their models. I mean, post-COVID, there is nothing like a brick and mortar business. Yes, there will be brick and mortar businesses, but if you want to grow fast, if you want to conquer territories, then you have to embrace technology. Another thing that is important is that nobody will say that, okay, this is the time for the new economy. It has started. Nobody's going to blow a whistle to say, now we've started a post-COVID era. Post-COVID era has begun. So find how you plug into the post-COVID era and you will be better off for it.
Thank you very, very much, Doyin. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the advice. God bless you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Simeon.
God bless you, Doyin.
And you too.
And that's the last one from Doyin. Thank you, Doyin, for being part of us. It has been insightful, guys. We can do this together. I mean, I trust myself. I trust you. And I know that as you're listening to me out there, be you an investor, be ye a staff, be ye a business owner, be ye whatever you are, we can change the world. We don't have to keep complaining. We don't have to keep looking at our oil. People are doing amazing stuff. People are doing a lot of amazing stuff. We can do this amazing stuff ourselves. We can change the world. Guys, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you went to school, if you dropped out of school. I don't care what it is. Guys, we can make this work. So like I said, there's a 50% off for Doyin's place. If you're in Abuja, you need an office space, please shoot me an email, connect with Simeon at gmail.com, and I will get you that gig with Doyin Adewola. Make sure you go to our YouTube page and click on the notification, subscribe to the channel and click on the notification so that you get news about upcoming. I have like 10 amazing entrepreneurs lined up. I have 10 amazing investors lined up. I have 10 amazing staff lined up for the next couple of weeks, and they're going to be taking us down this memory lane, down this journey. And like I said, this show is about the truth. It is not about, you know, money misroad or I got money from someone and I don't know how I got it and all that. No, these guys are making it, they're killing it, they're becoming successful, and they're going to tell you their stories right to the core, how they made it in Nigeria, how they made it in Africa. This is a show that is celebrating everybody in Nigeria that is doing some amazing stuff. Be you a staff, be you a trader, be you a bus conductor, anybody doing amazing stuff to keep the economy going. I salute you, and I know that we're going to make this country a better place. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Until I meet you on Tuesday, this is me saying ciao.
Look around you, where you are right now. As you're watching this, look around your house. There are tools you have you're not using that can actually fetch you a whole lot of funds.
Forget about what people are saying. Don't listen to what people are saying. What people say about you or think about you is none of your business.
Many entrepreneurs want to build a business at the same time feed from the business. It cannot work. In Lagos,
but you just get to do something. Stop waiting for manna to fall from heaven.
never you at any point think you have 100% strength. It's not possible. So as a leader, you focus on your strength 100%, then your weakness, you get someone to fill it in. Now, the person you are bringing in, ensure that the person's weakness is your strength.
You have to come with something to the table. So what are you coming with as a woman? What are you bringing? Is it your intellect? Is it your beauty? We all know that beauty doesn't help anybody. If not, I'll be where Dangote is today.
Please, if you are listening to me, don't try and sell what is not sellable if you don't have the funds to push it.
Thank you for connecting with Simeon Ononobi today. Live sessions hold every Tuesday and Friday at 5 p.m. Please turn on post notifications for live updates.